So we're on to one of our last tomato harvests of the season, and we're going to be really sad to say goodbye to the thousands of pounds of tomatoes that we harvested twice a week. We got to donate a lot to Project Share, and just want to encourage everyone to enjoy the last of their tomato sandwiches, tomato pies, all that good stuff.
The college farm uses a unique strategy each autumn to grow a cash crop like broccoli, cauliflower, kale, and other fall favorites simultaneously with a cover crop. This strategy of growing cover crops and crops together is called interseeding. This is a farm strategy that minimizes soil disturbance by growing crops that can coexist and timing things so that both crops will grow to their fullest potential. Earlier in September, when the farm's fields of fall brassicas were just about 6 inches tall, farm staff broadcasted red clover seed to fill open spaces and bare ground. Clover has the capacity to grow well in partly shady conditions, so as our broccoli and kale plants continue to grow and branch out, the clover was already well established. Why bother with this, one might ask? Well, consider what remains in a field after all of the last crops of the season have been harvested. In our experience, crops that grow well into November and December before being harvested leave fields bare over the winter. As you may know, bare soil is at risk of erosion, not ideal for any farm. As you may also know, clover is in the legume family. A great characteristic of leguminous plants is their ability to capture atmospheric nitrogen to make available for future crops. An additional perk about red clover is that in the springtime, once the temperature rises and days lengthen, the clover will bloom, providing a great source of food for our pollinators before the main growing season starts.
This is one of our 4 greenhouses. This is Ghana. It's our smallest greenhouse that we have, and right now we have a lot of greens in there. So we have spinach, salad mix. We also have some bok choy and radishes. We just started growing in the greenhouses again, probably about mid-September. Prepped them towards the end of August. Prepping the beds, kind of digging them, loosening up the soil, adding some fertilizer. We mainly grow in the greenhouses during the spring and the fall months, a little bit through the winter for some of our hardier greens, because the greenhouse allows us to monitor the temperature a little bit more, keep it warmer, but in the summer it gets really hot. So the only thing we'll have in the greenhouses over the summer is tomatoes, and that's in one of our larger greenhouses this year. So to manage the temperature, we can raise and lower the sides and open the doors. Keeping the doors open also helps with ventilation to limit disease pressure that comes with the cooler, wetter weather. And right now we have the sides down because it's a pretty cool day today. I think the high is maybe in the low 60s. And we usually don't open the sides of the greenhouses unless it gets above 70 degrees in the greenhouse.
We have garlic over here. These are the garlic cloves. Cloves make up the head of garlic, in case you needed that explanation. But yeah, we've been on a garlic journey since July. We harvested a bunch of it, a barn full in fact. And since then we've just been drying, sorting, cracking, and finally planting garlic for next season. Yeah, so these are abnormally large garlic cloves. They're really good, obviously, in anything that you stir fry, but I like to rub a raw clove on toasted bread and then eat it with a sandwich or a fried egg or a tomato sandwich with the last few tomatoes we have in the season.
This is all we're trying to do. Push them down, just cover them up.
Whoa.
That's it.
Nice. All right.
Go on. There's 3 lines here. We're going to be transplanting on each line.
We're mulching our garlic, and the mulch that we use is just some straw. I believe it is oat. We do this to suppress the weeds because the garlic will be in the ground for about 8 or 9 months, so we don't want to have to weed it a lot. The mulch also acts as a little bit of an insulator over the winter. What we do is we just take flakes of straw and shake them out over the beds. Right now we're doing the pathways. And we want a nice thick layer so that the sun can't reach the soil and the weed seeds. But the garlic will still be able to germinate and grow up through the mulch. Awesome.
These are some examples of what seed saving looks like at the college farm. Each year, the college farm sets aside crops for the specific reason of saving seed. Purchasing seed each year is an expensive undertaking, and if we can save our own, not only are the seeds and future crops more adapted to our region's climate and farm soil, but it is also gentler on the farm's pocketbook. Saving seed is easy, but it takes time. Not only do we have to grow crops well past their ideal harvest phase, but we also collect plants just as they're making seeds, then dry them out for a few months, and then process them using screens that help separate the seed from the flower. This process is known as threshing. Once all of the plants have been threshed, the seeds will be winnowed, meaning that the seeds will be separated from chaff. This is a simple process, but again, time-consuming. But it enables us to have a great stock of seeds for next year's growing season.
I'm here with the sheep in the solar field. They're absolutely loving the shade of the solar panels right now. We have the ewe herd in here, and the ram herd is in a different solar field. What that does is it keeps the grass cut and down without using any fossil fuels for like a mower or weed whacker. The sheep do all of that for us, and they eat the grass down and love it. So they also get to enjoy the benefit of having the shade of the solar panels, and overall it's the perfect symbiotic relationship with the sheep keeping the grass down and continuing to produce for us. It's getting late in the season, so pasture's winding down, so we're trying to take advantage of the pastures that we have left, and before we have to go to hay, which they do like, but not quite as much as the fresh stuff.